Who's online? Anyone? Let's get this show started, shall we? Wait for you guys to come on, obviously. Woo! We get a few people on. It's the Wednesday show. It's like the interim to the real Wednesday show. It's just second week in. So we're just going to try it out, basically. Give it a go for a second week in a row. Start getting you guys into it every Wednesday. Not really fixed on a time yet. We're in temporary. We're in a showroom at the moment. So we've got a room that we're going to specially make up to do a weekly show for you guys. So we'll see how that goes. I'm trying to monitor questions and chat on this PC, but it's going to be set up proper. It's going to be well lush. We've got a sign made up to go on the back, so there'll be a back wall and there'll be stuff on it. It's going to be really good. You're going to love it. Say hello if you're on. At the moment, I've got 0 questions. So if any of you got any questions or you want to say hello or anything, let me know. Yeah. I've got a bandage on my armlet. Guess what that came from? Comment below. Guess where that came from. Am I having a tattoo up my arm that's been covered up? Was I bit by a lion? Did I come off a mountain bike, motorbike? Did I come off an electric unicycle? Surely not. Safest forms of transport. That as well, look. What's going on there? Let me know. Let me know. So we're hoping soon we'll have the M10-3 review going up. We've got a lot of stuff stacked to actually do. So we've got M10-3. Hello, I'm at work, so I can't watch. How you commenting? So the times will change, possibly. So we're starting this. What's the time now? 4:30. So we'll probably start the live feed at probably 5 o'clock. It depends. It might be 5 or 5:30. We're going to try and get as many people on board and incorporate as many people as we possibly can because we've got customers from all over the world. So we're just trying to work at the best time. Obviously, people can watch it after because it'll be saved to our channel anyway. It'll be in there as a rewatch. But you won't be able to ask live questions, which would be ideal. So yeah, we want to try and encompass everyone if we can. But for those guys in places like California at 8 hours behind us, it's quite difficult. So we try our best and we try and get questions answered as and when they come in each week. Hopefully you guys get used to the format. As I say, when the room's finally done, it's soundproof, it's all painted up, we've got proper props in there, we've got the signage up, we've got the lighting correct, we've got all the lighting equipment, we've got a Canon C100 coming in, Mark II. If anyone's into the videography, you'll know what that is. We're going to have split cameras as well, so should be good. And we're hoping to have Mario on board, and he is a fully qualified camera dude, as I like to call him. So yeah, love the videos of your trip to Ireland on the wheels. Did you ever get stopped by the police? No, never got. We got waved to by the police, but we went from, so what we do, we went from Wales, from Gloucestershire, England. So England, Wales, Southern Ireland, up to Northern Ireland, across Scotland, down. I think, did we go back into Wales and then back into Gloucestershire? I'm not sure. So be ordering the MSX soon, Ian. Are they still due for 2 weeks? Yes, so Gotway are shipping our order out with the M Super X, and it will be shipping this Friday. I know that because we've paid the full balance. We paid 50% up front a while back, and now we're paying the final amount, and it went through today. So yeah, they are going to be in relatively soon. Usually turnaround is about 2 weeks, depending on how customs wants to be, if they want to be awkward or not. So yeah, no, never had any problems with the police at all. It was all good. We basically went all the way across all those countries, 1,080 miles with no issues at all. So yeah. Brucey, come here, up here. Hey, look, see? That's it, is it? That's your lot. Brucey, come here. Come and say hello to everybody. Up here. Come on, you gotta make a weekly appearance. Not that keen, to be honest. Brilliant. Tesla versus 9bot expensive Z10. Don't really know, because we haven't got our hands on a Z10, have we? We could get a grey import, an illegal import, but that would be illegal, so we can't do it. Sadly. I'd love to otherwise. I'd love to have a CE certified one and get it here and ride it around. I would imagine the big tyre is going to be lovely for actually, I suppose, sandy conditions, stroke, mud, and all those sorts of business. It'd probably be quite nice, but I'm going to try and read the comments. They're coming up quicker on the phone. They are here. So, do you also stock scooters? We certainly do. Have a look at the scooter section on speedyfeet.co.uk. Go to scooters, you'll see the LAF, which overflow of stock, I think, is behind me as well. Yeah, so we got those. Really good scooters. So we had a demo one, which we did half a video on last year, never completed. We didn't have the time to complete it. And my own mother has been riding one, and she's done 500 miles on it, I think, something like that, getting close to it anyway. Amazing machine. And Amy, my wife's got one. They're really, really good, really good. Because those are two people that actually don't like riding. Amy can't ride an electric unicycle. And Mum is getting to that age now, she doesn't want to ride one. Scooter, 2 wheels, solid platform, brilliant. So yeah. Just want e-bus, and I've come to realise that your agility while riding requires years of experience. Any tips on turning? I can ride in straight lines and smooth bends. So Mario, who's going to do the filming for us going forward as a main job for us. So we should have a ramp up in the quality of footage coming out, and be able to do more of it theoretically, where my time is taken up. Should be now time to start dedicating to doing some of that. So should be good, exciting videos coming out hopefully. We'll probably get more tip videos back out. We did this, what was it called? 2-minute shorts, 60-second shorts, 5-minute shorts, something like that, a few years back on how to do all this sort of stuff. So we could do that, bring out some lessons again. But it doesn't require years of practice to do the stuff that we're riding. Some of it does, a year or two, but turning and stuff, you should be able to get that. Now Mario has never ridden an electric unicycle. He's been here today, actually, still here. He's learned to ride now, dead straight lines, so yay! But he was riding the straight lines in 2 hours, so he was solidly at it. So he's got some nice bruising on his legs now. So yeah. Bruce has a very good workout. If you've got an EUC and a dog that likes speed and distance, brilliant, get one of those. Any tips on turning anyway to try and get that? You need to be, a lot of it comes from breathing. So if you're nice and allowing yourself to breathe and not all tense, you'll find that everything happens more naturally. And eventually you'll be at a place where when I ride, I'm not thinking about riding at all. I'm just riding and I'm enjoying what's around me. Which is an absolute brilliant space to be in. Have you ever, let's answer this, I bet Bruce is a good workout, done that one. Hello Ian, when will you have the King Song 18L in stock again? So we completely outsold our original pre-order shipment. We locked down the pre-orders to stop people ordering them, and we immediately ordered our second shipment. And then we asked them today, is there any update? They should be shipping in the next week to us. So probably about 3 weeks, approximately. You can never say exactly. One, because couriers can take some time from all these little places they've got to go and deliver these things to. And then things can happen with aircraft and things like that. And customs can have a hold on them, but about 3 weeks. Have you had one of the wheels lock up? And when you say one of the wheels, Noxy Man, I'm assuming you're talking about scooters again. In that case, no, we have never had that happen. Even if something blew, like the electric unicycles, if you have it seize up, and obviously that's catastrophic if you have a MOSFET failure of the board. You get the wheel locks up, but it's not completely solid. But when you're on an electric unicycle, you're going down, and there's no two ways about it. But it does move like that, so it's jolty, but it does move. So that's worth remembering that. So on a scooter, if you ever had that, which we haven't. But if a scooter had locked up, you would get a bit of run out. You might get thrown over the handlebars. You might do, but never had it happen. Mum's come off it by pressing the regen brake. So presses the regen on the opposite side of the throttle, and woo, got over the handlebars. It's pretty strong, the regen, but it's manageable by smaller movements equals less regen. More is full regen, and that's pretty sharp, especially if you stood at the front. So yeah. So the showroom we're in now is partly our paintball business, which is the oldest business I own. It's about 12 years, 13 years, been running that. Great little story. Started in the house, moved into a spare bedroom, moved into a shed outside, expanded the size of the shed, then got a small little warehouse, then got a bigger warehouse, then got a bigger warehouse, then a bigger warehouse, and then we stock about 5,000 products, something like that. And Speedy Feet has then gone into another warehouse attached to this one. So that's pretty sweet. Good. Gained all the experience basically to get this one going. So we got this showroom, but it's predominantly paintball related because of the huge amount of products and SKUs we got. It's pretty much everything lining this is all paintball stuff. So feed necks and swabs and trousers, tops, gloves of multiple different sizes and colours. It goes on and on. So have we got any other questions there? Let's have another look. Bruce, well, he's fallen asleep, so that's good, isn't it? Used to my voice. Boom, boom, boom. All right, has anyone else got any other questions or comments or anything? What we typically found actually is the live stream, if we can run it for around about 30 minutes, we get the maximum people being able to get on, because obviously not everyone gets notified because not everyone's signed up to notifications. So if you guys are on forums and EUC forums, let people know there will be a weekly live. It's a bit, well, I don't know what you call it now, but it's a bit sort of DIY-ish at the moment because we're trying to do it once a week whilst we set up this room. Once we set up the room, you'll be used to a same solid background every single time. You'll know exactly what you're looking at. But let people know every Wednesday there will be a live stream. It's around about between 4 and 6 GMT, I would say. EUC paintball in the woods next, yes. We tried that. It's a little bit off-putting. The interesting thing is when you're riding, unless you're at a stage where you can just ride without even thinking about it, trying to aim a gun and fire and ride a wheel at the same time is quite difficult. Some of you may have tried to fly drones at the same time as riding your wheel. That's a nice skill to master. Very exciting too. Quite expensive as well if you get it wrong. So, Noxy Man, what's that? What's the warranty on the wheels and scooters? Speedy Feet, 2 years. That's how good we are. So we tend to only stock stuff that we can actually, you know, that we've actually used and have got some confidence in. So we just get everything in and it looks good. We try and use it first, then sell it, then do the backup for parts, and then obviously we've got the warranty as well all along that. So, did you go to Fully Charge live? I did not. I was busy. Shame really, because I'd love to ride my wheel around there. But in terms of getting a pitch there, they did write to us, but we got info from another vendor who decided not to go because the pitch, the cheapest I think they were quoted was $3,000. That's quite a lot of money. And obviously for us, we need a massive pitch because you say, oh, have a go. Do you want to buy this scooter or do you want to buy this electric unicycle? And they're going to say, okay, can I take it for a little ride? And it's like, wow, we haven't got the space. So the space we would need is huge. Cooling vests for dogs. Interesting, Roland. Bruce, come here. Come up here. Come here. Come here. Oi. Cooling vest. Do you want a cooling vest? No. I'll get him one anyway. Let's have a look. Are you looking forward to the test? Yes, I certainly am. So anyone writing MSX, that's the M Super X, and that's by Gotway if you're interested. Go and look at the link, you can see it. It's written here. Go there. That's on our site. That looks like a sweet machine. Matthias Gran is reviewing it at the moment, and it looks like he's having a whale of a time. It's got some great videos out there. He's pushing up hills, trying to overheat it. Seems a really good piece of kit, so I'm really looking forward to that and excited for that one. And we're going to have some big battle videos probably versus other wheels once we've got used to the rest of them and how they work individually, and then we've had a lot of requests coming in to say, look, it's getting so confusing now. There's all these brilliant wheels out there. I mean, the days it was a 9.1, you know, and then generic, which were rubbish. All right for learning for a couple of weeks, but in essence rubbish. 9.1 came along, real solid, reliable wheel. Modular, so you can replace bits rather than if you cracked a shell, the whole lot was a write-off. That came out, that was the staple, and then suddenly it's like, boom, all this stuff comes along. And since then, we've now got the V10, V10F, we've got the Tesla, we've got the M Super X, we've got the King Song 18L. It's now a field of a lush vegetation of EUC. So what we've been asked is we can put a video together comparing these. Now it's always difficult because each has their own specific use almost. So it's hard to compare a 16-inch powerful wheel versus a 22-inch monster powerful wheel because they are different things. You know, you can't say, the negative is this, because it's not really a negative. The monster's designed to be open road, like we did the 1000 miler on them. You wouldn't want to take it in inner city for tight little alleyways or through traffic or even through crowded streets. Not designed for that. So it's difficult to do down a wheel because they do have their purpose. So that's why we like to try and do a video review on a product on its own merit. So not compare against anything else. It's quite difficult. It's quite difficult to do, to be fair. So probably have an individual video on the product itself, and then do one where we try and get the closest competitors to each other and do like a shootout of all three. Whoa, we've got to get to these comments now. Hey, thanks, Stephen. Always say look on the Speedy Feet website. Brilliant. Pass that along. Do you stock parts the KS16S? No. Will we stock parts the KS16S? Yes, we will. Most definitely. But we're trying to sort. We sold out of our first shipment. We've ordered in a second shipment. And once we got through a couple of those cycles, we'll know which parts then to order. Because we can't just order a motor in and a couple of bits because someone has one fail. Really, we need to be ordering 20, 30 motors, 20 or 30 of everything to try and get the price down for shipping, because that's what impacts it the most. So a couple of parts, yeah, they're going to cut it. They'll be too expensive for you guys, and they're expensive as they are. So yeah, we need to buy in bulk, essentially. You know what I'm saying. Eventually, we'll get a nice plethora of accessories. What was the reason for this rather long drought of YouTube content? In any case, good that you're putting out more stuff again. We haven't really had any new stuff in. One, my time is ridiculously limited. It really is. We've got 2 businesses, 4 kids, a wife and a dog, and lots of stuff going on. Just finding the time to, it takes a long time to put a decent video together. We could throw just some content out. We're putting stuff on social media, so follow us on Twitter, follow us on Instagram, go to our Facebook page, like that and follow that there. There's content put out there regularly of small clips, so 15, 20-second clips, and comments that we lob up. That's been going on, that's never stopped. The YouTube content, that tends to be for the big old product reviews, you know, the 40-minute long reviews, giving you all the details you could possibly want on a product. The tire type, tread, size, PSIs you should pump it up to, the range test. Doing all of that takes a long time. There's a lot of editing to be able to do that, a lot of filming time. So that's why we're trying to get Mario on board and get someone in to actually do that, and then we should be able to pump out more content. Second to that, there wasn't any real new product out there as such that we could we thought worth getting in. But now you've got the KS16S, you've got the KS18L, you've got the V10, you've got the 9W1Z, which we haven't got yet. There's a noisy truck outside now. Hope you can hear me. That is really loud. Trust you can hear me. So there's a lot of new wheels, so we'll have a lot of content coming out, basically. That will come out, yeah. So have you seen the Surround electric bike? It's pretty amazing. E-bikes seem to be popular these days. Do you think you might stock e-bikes in the future? Probably won't stock e-bikes. I'll never say no to anything, but unlikely. Our speciality is on electric units, so self-balancing stuff essentially is where we're centered around. Scooters, they really came along because we're finding that the blokes were going out on the wheel. Thank goodness I stopped. Out on the wheels, and their wives wanted to travel along, but they weren't keen on electric unicycles, and then so we brought the scooters in to try and cover that gap, so people go out riding together. So if you're riding on your own, you can get a friend involved. Brilliant experience having people riding with you. Really good. Let's have a quick look. I put some 3mm neoprene on my KS16S and some skateboard grip. It's a different ride, so grippy for wood trails, no edging forward. That's right, so winter's a problem as well. You start getting wet feet. Even if you go in a vibration downhill and your feet start shoving forward. Yeah. Looking to get my first wheel in a couple of weeks. I don't have the budget to buy one wheel after another, so I want one to serve me a long time. I ride mostly rural roads. So you are sounding like the same environment as me, which is all rural. I would say recommendations. You're looking at how far do you want to go? So that's another question. So there's several things. If you're talking rural roads, are you talking rough roads, tarmac roads, or trails? And how far do you want to go? And how fast you think you want to go. Do you have the KS16S white in stock now? We do. We have got units left of white. You want to order Friday, and very nice conversation with you on email about it. Yes. So we got white in. KS16S white is in. We're waiting for a fresh delivery of matte black. So we got them coming in as well. So let me know, T-Bone Lee. Let me know, because my recommendation for you initially would, I'd say to you, the V8 or the KS16S. Hello, Matthias. Matthias, correct way of pronouncing it, I presume. Hi from Argentina. I love your videos. I bought a 9V C Plus 4 months ago and I've done, whoa, 1,200 kilometers. Congratulations. That is a lot of distance. Do you know how many kilometers the battery lasts? Thanks. It will last as long as it lasts. So you've got two things. You've got usage with lithium-ion batteries. So the chemical transfer each time you discharge it and charge it, you've got that. So that's going against you all the time. The more you use it, the more it's going to wear. But there's something you can't do about is time, and that is always against you. Get a brand new battery, you store it. Time is killing it, regardless of what you do with it. So use them as much as you possibly can. That's what you need to do. That's how to get the most out of it. So 200 kilometers. I mean, we've got people that have done 5,000 kilometers, I think, on the original battery, but they've lost about 40% of that capacity. So T-Bone Lee, I would ride no more than 10 miles max and wouldn't want to ride much faster than I could run. So T-Bone Lee, save yourself some money and go for the V8, in motion V8 for sure. Yeah, definitely. 10 stone, £8, yeah. In motion V8. Yeah, it's $1,000. There's no point spending 1,500 quid on that wheel. V8 will fill all your purposes, basically. Yeah. So I'm 3 stone heavier than, not quite 3 stone. We're getting on for 3 stone heavier than you. Bit taller. Let's have a look at your stats here. And I think I've got, what did I get? I got 14 miles, I think, in our video test. Go to the link here, speedyfeet.co.uk. Type in the search bar in motion V8 space V8. If you go in there's a video on the V8. Watch that. Brilliant video, runs through everything for you, and you see what my final results for my distance test I got were. Trem, I'm not going to tell you. You've got to guess. You've got to guess. So at the start of the video, I said, look at that bandage. You can't avoid it. And that, you've got to guess what's happened to me. I haven't said. I have not said. Let's have a look. So one of the thorny issues for resellers like you is that sometimes the producers decide to only sell to one reseller per region. Did you have an issue with this too? So we put loads of work in with 9bot before they bought Segway. We used to have direct contact with all the engineers and everything. It was absolutely brilliant relationship. We then got an exclusive with 9bot. So what you get, so if you think about it from an original importer such as Speedy Feet, who were the first people to import it, you do all the legwork, you promote it, you do the videos, you put in all the sweat, blood and tears, you get it all out there, you get the brand out there, you push it all out there, and someone goes, oh, that's a brilliant idea, I'll do that, but I'll sell it cheaper. I'll come along for 6 months, sell it all cheaper, make a quick buck and go. That becomes problematic, and that's the point when people like myself then start going, well, really, we need an exclusive then, we need to tie this down to stop these grey imports. And that's where that mindset should come from. If it's just trying to grab a market share after someone's already done all the legwork, not really morally right. It depends how much work. I see it. If you put loads of money and work into it, then yeah, you should have an exclusive really. So exclusivity. Moving on to that, we had an exclusive with 9bot. We had an exclusive after buying a shipping container in, whole shipping container of wheels. And hey Mario, come here. He's in here. He's gonna get in the live feed. Loads of questions coming in.
Oh wow.
There he is. I was just saying it's a bit DIY at the moment.
Yeah.
But make the most of it. How can you now ride an electric unicycle?
Almost. Well, I can, but still a bit.
See, if he was here now, you're doing this properly. You could overlay the footage from earlier.
Yeah.
And say, have a quick look, and we could do a commentary over the top of it.
Yeah.
This is where he really hurt his hip. This is where he's had an accident.
Yeah, it's swollen.
He got those, but got some elbow pads after the accident.
Yeah.
And then he never used them again.
Yeah.
You're right. There's people on. There's 22 people watching at the moment.
But this is interesting.
Yeah. So you got see all these questions coming in.
Hello, Mario.
So we're hoping this dude here is going to do set up all the camera and stuff, isn't he?
Yeah, video stuff.
Yeah, it's going to be like a real sweet video. all professional.
Okay, I'll wait for you to finish the stream.
Yeah.
'Cause I
He's
need to
fixing a 9-bot.
Yeah, so I disassembled one of the one wheels of the unicycles, and now I hope
broken.
Now I hope it works.
He's coming here, he's going, Ian, just a quick one. Small fire. Fire. So,
Okay,
yeah.
Enjoy the stream.
Yeah, I'll come and help you in a minute.
Yeah. Cheers.
Is it all put back together, is it?
No, it feels a bit wobbly.
Feels a bit wobbly.
But
Don't worry, he is not touching any customer's wheels.
Yeah.
Just the one he's riding. I'll come and look at it.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah. So with the exclusive, we got a whole shipping container in, and we got an exclusive on it. That was brilliant. So we committed the time, the resource for a couple of years. We asked for an exclusive. They said buy in a certain amount, bought in a certain amount. 2 months later, agreements all cut off from everyone in Europe. They bought Segway, boom, all gone, all lost. So from there on out, exclusives stand for nothing really, to be fair. And all that time, there was someone else claiming they had the exclusive rights to it and saying they were the official distributor when they weren't at all, and they were never sold to directly by 9bot. They were grey importing. So yeah, it's problematic, shall we say. Do you recommend using slime in the wheels to prevent punctures? Yes, might as well. I never have, but people get them from new and then they fill them with slime to save them ever having the issue of having a puncture. But so I never have done. I've only ever had, in 5 years, I've only ever had one puncture where I got 3 punctures in one. Does that make sense? Most of the wheels do, yeah. Most of the wheels use the same brand batteries. It's usually Panasonic or LG, yeah. Mario, they said hello. He's gone now. Have you tested the ACM V2 and what do you think about the wheel? Thanks, sir, for outstanding video content. Okay, thank you very much first for the comment. Yes, I have a very nice wheel. Trem, who is in this live feed, he's commented above. Trem, I'm right in thinking, I haven't made a mistake, have I? You've got the ACM version 2, haven't you? I'm pretty sure you have the 1300. So you might want to give your feedback from it, but otherwise, yeah, absolutely brilliant. With the Tesla motor, it's brilliant. Yeah, now we've probably both cursed ourselves by saying we have no punctures. So, yeah, that's the problem, isn't it? Yeah, so Trem, let Rob know how you're getting on with it. So you've got user experience, you've had it now for a couple of months, haven't you? Probably, there we are. Fantastic, there you go. In capital letters with exclamation mark, exclamation mark, exclamation mark. We sold, what did we ship out? We shipped out yesterday, yeah, I think it was a 1600. Do I still, that's interesting, isn't it? Do you still have Model 3 reservation? Nope, cancelled that one when I realised it was going to be about 3 or 4 years until we could actually do it. So, yeah, I cancelled that. The Zoe is spot on. But let's not go on to electric cars. We'll keep that for another channel, shall we say. Before we were using a 9Droid app, but now it's changed to Segway 9bot. Not sure there's much difference apart from the interface and colour. Yeah, they've got other features on it, haven't they? I'm not big into the apps, to be honest. They always seem to let everyone down more than anything. This great. It's a freebie chucked in. Basically, you buy the wheel, you get an app. It is essentially free, and that shows on a lot of manufacturers that they haven't put much time and resource into apps. It seems to be lacking. So one of the best ones is the 9bot app, and the InMotion app's pretty good. But even then they're lacking in certain areas that sort of let it down, really. If you didn't have it at all, and they said this is the wheel, there may be free apps out there you can use. That would be different, but it kind of can sometimes ruin the experience of the ownership of the wheel. But you're always going to ask what Painfest is. Painfest is when this happens, but it's not Painfest. It's Paint Fest. And this, see, clothing is not my forte. This is 2013. Boo-boo. Paintball event, basically. There we went to. Thank you very much as well for saying I'm a solid and upstanding dealer. Bruce, you're hassling me, but I'm sat up so high. Let's see if I can move this here. Brucey, come up here. Oh, look at this big dog. Look at him. Hey, you're not going anywhere. You got to say hello to him. He's just not going to say hello, even if I grab him. Let me try and grab him. Sit him on my lap. You see? There we are. Right. Yeah. So, quite a nice little dog, really. Little lapdog. Huskies are lapdogs, you know. They can be. They can be, but they're not that keen on it, to be fair. And they are boiling when you put me in that, especially in this weather. I'll just block my face out. Oh, Brucey, you're lovely. You're an EUC owner's dream. He's off. But yeah, he'll run and run and run and run and run, but not in this heat, which is a sad thing. Do the wheels limit your maximum speed until you cover a certain amount of miles, Noxyman? Yes, they started doing that, to some people's annoyance, and to some of us, I kind of think it's a good idea. Too low a speed seems a bit ridiculous. You have to do a set number of miles to unlock them. But all of them, in answer to the actual question, I've got dog hair everywhere now. All of them limit speed, so they'll do a tilt back. So they'll beep usually, and then they do a tilt back. If you're buying one of the more expensive ones, some of the real cheap 200 quid generic ones don't do any of that. They just cut out when you get higher up. But as long as you're not going fast on, they're fine. So with these, they tilt you back. Now, things like the 9.1E Plus, which is actually a brilliant wheel, you've got to remember that you can overpower that because the motor's only a 500 watt motor. You can actually, with all your weight and leverage on it, you can actually overpower that even though it's beeping at you and pushing you back. It's using some of that pushback power, obviously from the motor. It's going, right, what have we got left? And if you're already up at a top speed and you're going up a hill and you keep on leaning, you're going to blow the board or cut the machine out at the very best and do a nice little face plant. So the more powerful machines, typically, the more powerful they are, the less likely you'll be able to overpower it, essentially. If that makes sense. Unless you're taking up absolute maximum speed. I do think that they should bring the speed down. I mean, 30, 35 miles an hour is mental. I've seen some comments today on a forum, someone saying do a speed test on the M Super X. And the comments coming back are, oh, I do it, yeah, I do it. I don't even wear a helmet. I go 30 miles an hour, I don't wear a helmet. Or any protection. It's fine for me. It's only these things, these electric unicycles are only fine when they're fine. One day, potentially, it could cut out. And if you get too complacent and you just ride them, you're going 30 miles an hour everywhere, and it cuts out, you're not 30 miles an hour with no protection. You're not going to, unlikely you're going to get out of that unscathed. You probably do yourself a massively serious injury. And it could potentially kill you. You think your head smashes into the ground at 30 miles an hour, you're dead. You're not going to survive, definitely not going to survive that. So, yeah. The more time goes, people see these videos and people see experienced riders riding. And they think, well, I can do that and I'll do it faster. And that tends to be the way it seems to be going a little bit, which is a bit of a shame. So I'd like to see the firmware brought down to a speed that you can survive critical impact, basically. Down to that sort of area where you can ride dangerously if you want, but not too dangerously where it's going to cause a serious injury. That would be quite nice. And of course that's governed by people's perceptions of how fast they think that is. But there should be scientific studies of the type of impact you can take from a 0 to a X speed, and you put it around about somewhere there and you should be okay. So chose to buy the ACM V2 over the Kingston S for performance reasons. Great range from what I'm seeing. Thank you, sir. Unfortunately, the only way to upgrade your firmware seems to be using the app, so if you want to have the newest version, you have to use that app. I totally agree, yeah. Yeah, that is over-the-air updates. This is pretty much the only way of updating, so you kind of need the app to do that. I suppose they could do it with a dongle if they had a plug-in, like a USB port that was wired to the board, and you had to have a dongle with some preloaded firmware that you downloaded off their website. You could do that, and it did an auto-update, but yeah, over-the-air updates, really. I'm 6'3" and 16 stone. Are there any wheels I could ride? What's the weight limit? So you're close there to the upper weight limit, but you wouldn't want to go any less. So the InMotion V8 at that point, 800 watts, would be a bit too low. It would carry you. It would carry you probably fine, but you'd be peaking its power up hills, steep hills, probably. So my recommendation was you want to be looking around about the KS16S mark. So that's a 1200 watt motor. So from that point upwards, so you start spending more money, and they're 1,500 quid. And 1,400 quid, I think. 1395. Check out speedyfeet.co.uk and then have a look for the KS16. So go to all unicycles and you'll get a big list. So you go to unicycles and it says all unicycles. Click that and you get a whole grid layout. Go and have a look at that, but you want to be hitting pretty much from that price range upwards. It usually equals bigger batteries and more powerful motors. So all the stuff before that are all going to be a bit bit too weak for your size and weight. Yeah, so you definitely start. I mean, I would have thought the KS16S, if you really want to get into this, is going to be a reliable wheel. It's got loads of power. I mean, 1200 watt motor is ridiculous, and it will take you as far as you want to go. Any comments on Brexit? Bring it on. Let's make the UK great again. As long as we can still ship wheels freely around these areas, that's brilliant. But let's have a quick look. On your trip to Ireland, you seem to be paralleling chargers without the speed up charging. How many can you parallel, i.e. what's the max charging speed? So, we did a video on this somewhere. Where that is, I have no idea. But what we did in, try and get my thoughts together. In the Monster, Gotway Monster, which if you look that up on the website as well, that's basically the most expensive wheel you can buy, but awesome wheel, awesome wheel. But like with that, if you drop that thing, it smashes itself to pieces because it's so heavy. But if you don't plan on having a crash and you don't plan on dropping it, you're all good. And we managed to do that for 1,000 miles. With that, you've got inbuilt into it 3 battery packs. Each of those battery packs has got two cables coming off it for the charger that plugs into a charge port. What they've got is got a wiring loom that joins all 3 of those batteries together and goes out to 2 wires to a charging port as standard. What we did is remove that wiring loom and then bought 3 ports. We bought a load of ports in and we sell those ports on the site. Put a port onto each of the batteries. So suddenly you take that charging time, which is around about 24 hours to charge with a standard charger. You suddenly divide that by 3. So you're like, whoa, 3 times faster to charge. What we then did is use a port splitter on each of those ports. So now we had 6 charge ports. We could have the opportunity to put 6 chargers onto that wheel. So we are able to have a charging time which was 6 times faster, if that explains it. And that's well within the cables that are standard on the batteries. That's well within the amount of power they can take easily, but it's 6 times faster. So I'm trying to think now how many chargers we had in total. I think we had 6 chargers each, 3 aside, I think, from memory. And then what we did is in the bag, we had massive bags and we put 3 each side into the pockets, side pockets. We had to buy a bag specifically for it. Side pocket there, they're all ratchet together with cable ties. They all ran down to the bottom of the bag, and in the bottom of the bag we had an extension lead with all 6 plugged in and a spare so we could charge USB while we're out. And then it's on one plug. So when we walked into a cafe or whatever, can we plug in, charge these wheels up, rather than going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and USB stuff, 7, and John going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We say we need, what's that, 6, 12, 13, 14 plugs. We need 14 sockets, please. We only have to have 2 sockets. And only once did we ruin the electrics in a place, and it was a Weatherspoons in Dublin. We managed to take it down. Good, isn't it? You'll see that in a video. Highly embarrassing. But yeah. Where was I on questions? You used a total of 15 amp, 15A chargers, 6 times faster. I did not throw the breakers well. No, so it's all really low draw, so they're not huge. That's the trouble with them. They haven't upgraded those chargers. They kind of have now with the KS18L, for instance, slightly faster charge times, but they're minute charges. I mean, you can bring that up well within the limit. Can you fly with a wheel for holidays, etc.? Any restrictions? You went via a boat to Ireland, so guess not a problem. Correct. So 100 watt hour is the legal limit. So the maximum limit you can take is 100 watt hours. You can get permission from the airline. You can write to them, but strictly speaking, 100 watt hours. So tiny, useless, pointless. But loads of people carry them on aircraft. So usually what happens is it goes in the cargo. The important thing to remember is that you really do be responsible and ask the airline whether you can take it on. And the reason for that is that the pilot needs to know what's on board his aircraft. So if they have any issues, any malfunctions, anything that happens at all, he needs to know what's in the hold. And if he's saying that you've got 2,400 watt hours of lithium ion batteries that he wasn't aware was down there, he will handle the situation differently. So they do need to know, really, yeah. But not many people having issues with it, to be fair. You don't take them on as hold all because that's way too big. But yeah.
Yeah, I just had forgotten 8 bolts.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You put the bolt back in. So it's all fixed now?
Yeah, now I'm fixing that.
Sweet.
Just forgot to put on one side the bolts,
Right, okay.
so it's all good.
It's all good. He's fixed it. It's not loose anymore. Fixed it. Sort it out. One missing bolt. BMS is for max to 15 amp, or can it handle even more? 15 amp I think is too much for the cables for memory. At 10 amp, yes, 10 amp you need to change the cables, I think. So the wiring loom within inside to the batteries for the charger, mount the charger cables at the current, that amperage. Yeah. When will you get a Monster V100 charger? We haven't ordered any in. Is that something you require? Because we can order it if you like. Yeah, glad it's not loose anymore. Yeah, be able to ride it again in a minute. Smash it up some more. They take a beating, those 9.1s. But yeah, if you want 100 volt chargers, let us know. We get them in. So basically, if no one asks, then we just don't get stuff in. Stuff like that. I mean, obviously we get wheels in and then promote them and sell them if they're good. But if no one's ever asked for a 100 volt charger. What are you thinking of doing, Herbie Herb? Are you thinking of splitting them up, or what are you thinking of doing? What are you doing? Causing problems again, aren't you? He really wants to go out. So do Speedy Feet do repairs, and if so, what's the average turnaround? So it depends what the problem is. Yeah, we do repairs. We got loads of things. We repair for big companies who run mini pros and things like that. So we do, like I said, we haven't got any service plans or anything like that, but anytime they have anything faulty, we get several unit back at a time, we fix them there. Yeah, so we do repairs. Turnaround time just depends on what it is and how much free time we got. It's not a main service that we advertise, but we will do it as a favour to people, and we will charge for that favour. So it's not a completely free favour. You'd obviously expect to charge for time, but yeah, so we will do repairs and try and turn it around as quick as possible. But there you go. Trem's answered that question for you. Speedy Fit are great at repairs, depends on issue and stock. So you could just put your EUC as an extra in the airplane. Did presumably said didn't know that, but then did not try it. All I'm saying is you need to ask the airline. Strictly speaking, you should not be able to carry any wheel that we sell onto an airline at all. But you need to ask. And what we found and feedback we got from customers is that if you ask, a lot of the time they say, yeah, no problem, just make sure you put it in the cargo and declare it. So, yeah, from that point of view, that's all I can say really on that. You just need to try it case by case, essentially. If you've been given permission by the airline, then you're laughing, really. You can take it with you. Have known customers that have got to, so they've gone there and then tried to come back, and they tried to take it on as hand luggage, and they've basically said, well, you can't take it on. It's got, scanned it, and they've gone, it's got battery in it. You can't take it on. It's a massive battery, and they've had the battery. They've had to remove the battery and let them dispose of it. And so they've taken their unit back with that battery. And we know that because they had to buy batteries off us. And as a lot of you know, the batteries are around about 50% of the cost of the whole flipping thing. So, yeah, you don't want to be doing that too much. Right, I'm going to give this a couple more minutes. So if you've got questions and you're watching this and you haven't asked a question or you're thinking of asking a question, ask it, because we're 43 minutes into this stream. And that's more enough for anyone to listen to my voice. So, speak now or forever hold your peace. Bom, bom, bom. Let's have a look at stream health. So, we're all good. The stream's done quite well. It looks like it's healthy throughout the stream, which is nice to know. So that gives us confidence going forward for the other streams we do. Yeah, so it looks like it's a goer. Technology-wise, it's worked quite well. So, yeah. Darkness bot, tell me more, Clifford. I know of it. Uzra saying what? When are you going to sell the M Super V100? M Super V100, we won't be getting those in. Very unlikely. The annoying thing is those were done by special request, special order. And when we asked Gotway about them, because they weren't on the price list, they weren't mentioned to us, they'd only sold 2. And they don't really want dealers to order them anyway. They are special request only. And they've basically not done any real testing on them as far as I can tell. They've done the testing on the 84 volt by special request, they made 200 volt ones, and perhaps they've made more since last 2 weeks. 2 weeks ago, whenever it was, I asked them. But nah, probably not going to start splitting off to 100 volt, not unless they bring it into the mainstream product line. At that point, when it's had full-on testing of all the units, and it proves to be reliable, then maybe. But 84 volt is going to be absolutely fine. It's like the Monster 84 volt, which is 1,000 miles on, was absolutely fine. What's the worst damage that you were able to repair on an EUC? Well, the worst damage I've ever had has been dropped in a river. That's unrepairable. If you ever drop yours in a river, be sure to remove all the batteries and put them in somewhere like a metal bucket and a specialist container, because the chances of them slow burning is quite high, and it usually goes slow burn. You get black spots on the outside of the plastic, and then it ignites, and that's pretty dangerous. Plus the fact they also rust. Tell us what happened to your arm and hand, please. Obviously some sort of accident, likely EUC related, you think. I don't want more people. This is going to be more of a game trend. I want people to guess what's happened to me. There are lots of videos on YouTube of kids in the States riding like maniacs through city centre on the wheels. What's your take on that? Do you worry government might start clamping down? Yeah, I think it's crazy. If you're going 30 miles an hour through a city centre riding one of these wheels, you're not doing the community any service at all. And some people completely disagree with that, but it's going to happen. Something's going to happen, and once speed comes into the question, it will be because they were going fast. This happened. These wheels are dangerous. They need to be banned. This is crazy, and that's the only route it'll take. It'll always be revolved around speed. Serious accidents happen because of speed, and that's just the way it is. Yeah. So yeah, it's a bad thing. High speed is a bad thing. 30 miles an hour. We talked about it earlier on. You're not going to survive that full. If you're fully armoured up, you might get away with a break, or a couple of breaks, or a trip to hospital. But if you're not wearing a helmet, not wearing anything at all, you're going down, and you're probably staying down. So yeah, I don't really, certainly don't condone that sort of behaviour. No. Do you sell to sit of UK? I've not seen no one about. Do you mean south? Probably south. It's auto corrected, does it? Do you sell to south of UK? We sell all over the UK. We've sold in the last 5 years hundreds of wheels to the UK, possibly more. So yeah, there are people around. Do I ever see anyone? No. I've seen one kid here. So okay, yeah. Do you sell a lot of wheels to the UK? Yeah, loads and loads. I've never done it. Someone asked us the other day. Actually, wonder what the breakdown is. We'll have to have a look. So today I'm riding 9-bot Mini Pro everywhere, looking into buying an EUC. How difficult it is to move from the Mini Pro to the EUC? Andy, you're going to get you're a lot more likely to be able to transition, because you've got your brain's being able to cope with the self-balancing mechanism, basically. So usually the fight is over your brain trying to say you're going to fall over, then starting to trust it and actually just balance and know what that feels like, and then it becomes more natural. So that it will be a learning curve. There's no two ways about it. You're not going to step off a Mini Pro and get straight onto an electric unicycle and just go off into the sunset. There's going to be a learning curve to that, but it'll be slightly easier than if you had no practice at all on a self-balancing vehicle. So thank you very much, Noxy Man. Brilliant. Thanks for your videos, mate. Been a long time subscriber. You have a great family. Really pleased your business is doing well. And please keep making content on your e-adventures. We certainly will. Thank you very much for support and watching for so long. Yeah, Matthew's Grand has been connected to everyone, and it's a beast. I totally agree. But with that, Trem, I would say that 84 is probably a beast as well. So yeah, the difference between 84 and 100 volt is minimal. Obviously, it's shoving more voltage through that motor. But yeah, I think the 80. I would be. The only thing I could say is we did 1,000 miles on 84 volt. The Monster is a much bigger machine, requires much more leverage to push you forward. So 100 volt, to be honest, if it's 150 volt, it might have massive benefits, because the amount of power just from leaning forward slightly on the Monster would allow you to just boom and off you go. Whereas a Monster's a bit like a big ship you're trying to move. It's like, come on. But once it's going, it sits in such a sweet spot that you can trundle along and do these long journeys. So yeah. Yeah, well, we're saying that it isn't really, it will be at some point, I suppose. It isn't really a product, the 100 volt. It's something that's made by special order. So, yeah. Prognosis in terms of price for EUC? Well, it's like anything in this world of gadgets. you're going to always have that flagship models that keeps pushing forward all the time, that remains at a similar price or goes up, and then everything else that falls away over time gets cheaper and cheaper and cheaper. So the 9.1 E Plus used to be, I think it was 800 quid that we were selling for, 895 might have been, 795. It was around about that mark, and now they're 625 quid, the Gen 2 version. Yeah, I mean, it certainly is a niche market. I mean, it's ridiculous. And the problem with the spread of models, it takes, you know, if you, it's got to be, the one you're buying in bulk, it's got to be the same model to get the price down. They've got to produce that same model, the same moulding, the same tooling, etc. For that one model. Now, as soon as you have a spread of 10 models available to people, then we, as a small business in the UK, can't possibly buy in massive bulk to make an impact on price. You can buy in bulk, you know, it's tens of thousands of pounds, but that still isn't enough, doesn't make a dent, it's not a drop kind of thing, you know, to make a difference on the price. But the newest models are always the most expensive, and the smaller ones go down and down. But the thing I'm finding with EUC is really, as they get older, there's only a couple that are outside of this, they actually get safer the newer they're getting. So they're getting faster and powerful. So really it's the power that's coming through that's making them safer. And the side effect of that is you actually get more speed, but the power is making them safer. You can't, blown MOSFETs are getting less common, definitely. It used to be MOSFET, MOSFET, MOSFET every week where people are blowing things. But yeah, so that's going down as they're not being able to be overpowered by the rider. So flagship, in short, flagship ones, the newest and latest ones are always going to be more expensive, and then the older models will slowly get cheaper as you go on. So you get what you pay for. So. Yeah, Monster 100 volt, we do. Yeah, that's there. Go to speedyfeet.co.uk. Go to unicycles. Go all unicycles. Go through the list, and at the bottom, more than likely, will be the 100 volt. But yeah, you don't win anything for guessing. This could be fake. This could, I could set this up. You know, it might not have done anything at all. You know, you just got to guess though. So. Yes, stop Bruce. Bruce has stopped me in my tracks before. I've only had 2-3 big accidents in 5 years. Probably two. And Bruce, I was on a lead, and Bruce just stopped to do a dump, slammed his brakes on, and he just jackknifed me. And woo! Down I went. That was fun. But anyway, so we're 52 minutes in. This has actually been really, really good. It's really good, guys, to have you guys on, chatting through all these things. I'm answering loads and loads of questions, so hopefully this is educating some people who've got questions. Let people know on the forums and stuff. Every Wednesday we will do a live feed. It will slowly get better, and we should be able to introduce 2 cameras, possibly get some product on the table in front of us. Possibly it also might do, depending how Mario does, we might do a Tech Tuesday or a Maintenance Monday. It'd be one of those two things. Monday's usually the busiest day for us, but yeah, so we might do that live. That's all up in the air at the moment, but we're going to have all this, we're going to have more content coming out, and it's going to be trying to be helpful content for you guys. So it's an open forum, this, where you can come in, you can answer questions, and they can be answered, boom, 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 instead of sending an email in. And the tech one, we might try and strip wheels down and show you how to do bits and bobs. It'd be a lot shorter, and just it won't be answering questions. Might even have to turn off the commenting on that, but it will be, it'll show you how to do something each week, possibly. So that's up in the air. But we'll have the studio built up by then, and it should be a bit more interactive. Might have someone else like Mario come in and have a chat about how he's getting on with a certain wheel. We're also going to start up, hopefully, as you all know, we do the video reviews of a product. We review it end to end. It's usually about 45 minutes long. We test it as much as we possibly can, get all the answers we think you might have to the questions that you might have. But what we might do, we're going to try and do, is we're going to do, there's the video of a brand new machine. Here's it 1 month later. Here's it 3 months later. Here it's 6 months later. And then we'll do a 12-month final review of that product. So you get a huge date line, basically, between start and finish, to get to know what that product's like. Now, that's not going to help the people that just want to grab the latest thing out there. But anyone that's going to hold off for 12 months, who's going to do that? Just buy the wheel from us. But anyone that does want to do that, you'll have this this confidence built up, or it will show you that actually this needed doing, this needed doing. So that it'll be a very truthful overview of a product. So we've got that coming out as well. So yeah. When will 9.1Z be available? There are loads of these guys from the UK. This is going to get asked each week. But basically, in Europe, maybe this year, possibly next. Don't try and grey import them, or you can, it's your choice, free will, but it's illegal to import, and they've got no C certifications, and importing electronics into the UK or into Europe without any C certification is a big issue and a big no-no. And secondly, you don't know where you're getting it from and if it's any good. So end of this year, hopefully, they'll have the Z10 out. A cooling vest, okay, $50 on Amazon. I'll have a look at that. Yeah. Thanks very much. Yeah. Okay. Brilliant. All right, guys. I am going to sign off now. Thank you very much for you guys that joined in, and we'll see you next Wednesday for what's it called? Speedy Feet Weekly EUC show. So spread the word. Forums. Spread it everywhere. Share this one if you want. Just let them know that they need to come here. If you need to subscribe and you need to hit the notification button. So for you guys not getting notifications, or people saying they didn't even get notified, didn't even realise, it's because you haven't hit the notification bell. So subscribe, notification button, job done. Thanks very much, guys. Spread the words about EUC. Keep riding safe and politely. And I will see you next week. Cheers, dudes. Bye.